Hello guys, it's Rachel, what's up, and welcome back to my channel. And today we are making some adorable alpaca apple cinnamon donuts. I think that these are not only, of course, super cute, but they also taste so good. I made, I think, 3 or 4 different versions of this donut just to get everything just right. I said just a lot in that sentence. But essentially though, I wanted a really flavorful, moist donut that's still nice and fluffy on the inside, but not so fluffy that it's dry. It's kind of like a science experiment because you're testing out different quantities of oil or butter or different kinds of sugar to get just the right final product. And so I have a lot of fun coming up with these recipes for you guys. And so today I'm super excited for y'all to try out this recipe, not to mention the fact that they are so cute too. I don't even want to eat them because they're so cute looking, but they also smell amazing. So I'm probably gonna eat them anyways. I'm even kind of like dressed like an alpaca today. I thought this sweatshirt would be perfect to wear. I never had one of these before, but they're those like, I think called Sherpa or shearling jackets that are really popular now. I just pictured myself like rolling out of bed for 9:30 a.m. lecture and throwing this on, and I thought it'd be so comfy. But you know what? I'm kind of sweating right now. This is really warm. But if you're also looking for one of these jackets, this is from Walmart in the children's section. No shame. Definitely keeps you warm. I'm like a little too warm right now. But yeah, speaking of warm things, I don't have a transition. But anyways though, I think I should probably stop blabbing now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you enjoy this recipe. And before we get started though, make sure you tap that subscribe button and turn on those notifications as well. And without further ado, let's hop right into it. Alright, so to get started on the donut batter, it's super easy. You need 2½ cups of flour, 1½ teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of nutmeg, a whole tablespoon of cinnamon, and a teaspoon of salt, which I forgot to add initially, but then I just whisked it in a little bit later. Now I know a whole tablespoon of cinnamon seems like kind of excessive, but I find that the cinnamon really brings out the warmth in the apples. Essentially, it just gives it a nice, delicious, spiced flavor that I really like. So I really like to add in the whole tablespoon of cinnamon. And then once you have all of your dry ingredients ready in the bowl, you're gonna grab a whisk and go ahead and mix it all through. Then we can move on to the wet ingredients. You need 1/4 cup of melted butter, along with 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of canola oil. It might seem like kind of a strange measurement to have 6 tablespoons of canola oil, but I find this gives it the perfect balance. When it comes to baking, I think that butter provides a lot of richness, but then the really great thing about oil is that it adds a lot of moisture to your donuts. When you put them together, you have a beautiful flavor and you have a really nice texture too. Along with the butter and the oil, we're also gonna add in some sugar. Specifically, you need 1/2 cup of white sugar and then 1/2 cup of packed light brown sugar. So if you're wondering why these donuts taste so good, it's basically because there's butter and oil and white sugar and brown sugar all together, because each lends a different texture and flavor and all that kind of stuff. So I really like to blend things together like that when I'm creating recipes. Along with the butter and the oil and the sugars, we're also gonna add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, gives it a really beautiful flavor. And then you're also gonna finish that off with 2 room temperature eggs. Then you can grab your whisk and mix it all through, and then we can start to put it all together. So to start off, you're gonna take your dry ingredients and just add half of those to the wet ingredients and just fold that all through. Once that's combined, you're gonna add in the whole cup of milk and just start mixing that in as well. You're gonna notice at first the 2 mixtures don't really like to blend very well. The milk is on the thinner side, the batter is gonna be really thick. When you mix them together, it looks kind of weird, but then just keep mixing and keep incorporating that, and you'll eventually see it'll come together. Then to finish it off, we're gonna add in the rest of the dry ingredients and just fold that all through. All right, so now the batter is ready and we can talk about our apples. For some reason, I feel like the apples at Safeway are some kind of like majorly GMO apples because they're giant. So I really only needed 1 apple today, but basically I'm gonna go ahead and chop this into some little bitty cubes. And what I like to do is just take a sharp knife and then lop off the top and bottom of the apple. And this way, when you go ahead and peel your apple, you just are able to go from the top all the way to the bottom, and you don't have to worry about like the rounded top and bottom part of the apple. So I like to take my peeler, peel off all the skin, and then I'm gonna take my knife again, cut that into like 1/2-inch slices or so. Then I'll take those slices and stack them up, and then you can slice them into fries, kind of, and then turn those fries to the side and cut them into cubes. So then once you have all of your apple cubes, I'm gonna measure out about 1.5 cups. I really like a lot of apples in my donuts just because I think it gives them a nice moisture and they're kind of just a nice textural balance within the donut. So I like to add in about 1.5 cups of apples here and just fold that all through. And then we can go ahead and pipe in the batter. This donut mold, as you can see, is greased with cooking spray, and that way the donuts don't stick. So pipe in your donut batter, and then you're gonna bake those off at 350 degrees for about 15 to 17 minutes. Basically, you just know they're done when you get a toothpick and then stick it in the center, and when you pull it out, it should come out clean. All right, so donuts are finished. Let them cool in the pan for about 5 minutes or so, just so you don't burn your hands. And then you're gonna flip those out onto a cooling rack and then just let them cool off completely. Once the donuts are cooled off, we can go ahead and talk about the decorations. This is a super simple process. Basically, I'm gonna start off by taking some white candy melts. I'm just gonna cut those in half. And then we're also gonna prep some large marshmallows. To do this, all you do is take some kitchen scissors and cut them in half. And that's gonna be for the kind of like muzzle part of the alpaca. I don't really know like my alpaca anatomy, but basically it's for like the mouth. Okay, so now all of our components are ready to go and we can start on the decoration process. So what we're gonna do is take one of our donuts and then dip that upside down in the Candy Quick and then take it out, kind of shake off the excess, and then you're gonna pop in the ears. We're using those 2 halves of the candy melts for that. Then for the fur on top of the head, we're gonna take some coconut and just sprinkle that over the top. Repeat that about 12 more times, or just for however many donuts you end up making. So you basically have a lot of like blank canvas alpacas. Once the candy coating sets, you're gonna take one of those marshmallows from earlier and then just place that on the bottom half of the donut. And then for the part that really just brings them to life, we're gonna add on the faces. I'm just gonna use some black decorating icing for this. And the face is pretty easy. The eyes, also very simple. You just got 2 dots on each side. And then if you feel like adding some eyelashes, you can do that also. Then for the cheeks, I'm gonna dab on some more Candy Quick on each side of the eye, and then I'm gonna place a pink confetti sprinkle on each side. And then the final step is just to give them some character. I like to do this with a mix of different sprinkles. So I did some bows just by taking 2 large heart sprinkles, and then I stuck those end to end. Then I did a little dab of Candy Quick in the center, and then placed on another confetti sprinkle. And that's it for the bows. Feel free to get creative though. I did some like flower crowns, as you can see here, but essentially have fun getting creative with it. Do whatever kind of designs you'd like to. And yeah, that's all there is to it. They're pretty easy to make. Whenever you decorate something, of course it's gonna take a little more time, but I feel like that's the whole fun part of it. And I just think they're so cute. Like, I just love their little faces. I like the decorations, little eyes. And of course, these not only look adorable, they taste amazing too. I had so much fun developing this recipe because I got to eat a lot of apple cinnamon donuts. Definitely an all-time favorite. I hope you guys enjoy the recipe. And if you like this video, make sure you tap that subscribe button and turn on those notifications as well. You can follow me on social media at kawaiisweetweets. My last video is linked right down there, and the blog post for the recipe is right up there. All right, well, take care, guys. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you back here very soon. Bye, guys.